Thank you very much, and thank you for the invitation to this global forum of CLADEA. And I'm very glad to be here. And actually, in all my career, I was focusing on sustainability. So I'm going to share some good practices with you today regarding mainly collaboration between schools, among schools of across Europe, but also focusing on some specialties. Let me share my screen first with you. I hope that it works. Okay, so let me start with the presentation. So like in my life and my career, I witnessed very much this clear shift from being focused on very specific courses, starting with a few courses actually in management education, like environmental economics or environmental management, to this huge variety, this huge diversity actually of courses today, and of sustainability education today actually at universities and at business schools, which shows actually the shift also in the challenge what we face right now in terms of sustainability related issues, as it was also introduced by Magali at the beginning. There is a clear shift, and that's why I think it's important to see where are the focal issues and where we can collaborate very much on this scenery. So now I'm going to show you first some examples of cooperation, what business schools can have among themselves. And as our school is part of the Global Alliance in Management Education, SAMS, I'm sure that most of you is aware of, or like you know this network, which has actually one school from each country in the network. So, and it is allowed to be only one school of each country within the network. Those which are accredited, like Triple Crown accredited most of the times, or at least some crowns they have in the accreditation. So really renowned universities. And we have a course running for 12 years now, actually, within this alliance, which is focusing very much on climate change and on simulating climate summits. So the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change has actually every year a climate summit. And this course is very much related to this. So it absolutely gives an up-to-date knowledge to the students, and also the possibility to practice their abilities, their skills to negotiate, and to have an overview of this whole really very complex topic, with full of uncertainties, with full of interests. So this is something which is the main hint behind this collaboration. Just for you to have an overview how it works. The course is run at different places at the same time for the whole semester, and in the very end we have a 2 days long role play, 2 days long simulation. You see now some pictures about the plenary session and about the final picture of how it looks. In previous years, it was in person all the time at one of the schools which is participating. I will show you a picture about 2020, actually, how we succeeded in having an online version of the role play. But before starting with that, I would like to show you which schools are participating. This is the whole course was initiated and is mainly organized by the University of St. Gallen, so professors of University of St. Gallen, but ESADE Barcelona, the Erasmus University with the Rotterdam School of Management, Bocconi University, University of Vienna, Corvinus, Warsaw School of Economics, University of Cologne, and Stockholm School of Economics were part of this specific course last years, and we have new members from this year, Aalto, Finland, and Norwegian School of Economics. So it's really like a coverage, a big coverage, a huge coverage of Europe, actually taking part. And it means that it's about 130, 150 students who are taking part in the whole course and the whole role play, which means that like about 10 to 30 people are in each class. It means that they are small classes mainly, but very focused work with those students. They are master students. And actually, just a few, like really, I don't want to go through all these details, but showing the main features, the main objectives of the course, because obviously we want to give a wide understanding of the negotiation process of the United Nations. So we have a course before we have the role play, which builds up this knowledge one by one, step by step towards the simulation. And the students learn a lot about the diverging interests of different parties and also of different stakeholders. So not only governments are represented in the role play, but also industry association, companies like NGOs are also there and represented. So this whole setup, the whole setting is really very much simulating how a climate summit is normally organized and is going on. And since we are in business schools, in management schools, business schools, we have to show a clear connection between how it has an impact on on the corporate world and on corporate strategies. So how this interlink works with lobbying on the one hand and a huge impact of the regulation on the other hand. So this is what is also a main goal, and how it affects the business strategy for the future, because it clearly has a huge impact, and those students will be the global leaders and will be part of this scenery of global business later on. So they really need this knowledge. And in terms of the international cooperation, the students are fully international. As SAMS is built on an exchange program, it means that the students are one semester at home, another semester somewhere else within the community. It means that these groups are absolutely international everywhere. So they have this possibility to also meet, to communicate, to have an impact also on each other. So it's a huge experience also in terms of international experience. And last but not least, they learn a lot of negotiation skills, which are much harder than someone would think. So actually they have to practice these skills very much in the role play. How the assignments look like, just in a few words, they have it is a demanding course, a really demanding course, because students also are representing these parties. They have to write a background paper on the country or on the organization they are representing. They have to write a clear position paper, which is an input to the negotiation process, and actually like focusing on main issues of the climate summit, normally like mitigation issues, trading, adaptation measures, loss and damage issues, climate refugees, a lot of, but really like focusing on these areas. And in the very end, each student has to write an individual reflection paper based on the course, based on the role, what they have played, how a self-assessment, giving a self-assessment of their own contribution, which is a very good way of making the course really effective in terms of their individual reflection. So I think it's a very important point towards understanding and really practicing what you understood. We got an outstanding contribution award within the SAMS so 2 years ago for the course, which we were very proud of. You can see our team there from the different schools actually. And last year, because of the pandemic, it was a very really very difficult to decide where to have it, because it's always in the spring semester. So we were like really struggling a lot with that. But in the very end, we had the online version instead of being in Warsaw, which was the original plan. But as you can see, we succeeded. You see the flags behind the students. It means that those were the parties they were representing. And actually, each school brought the students. We had the different breakout rooms for the working groups and for the side events. We had a group. We had a channel for the general meeting, and it went actually very well. So this year we will also have an online version of the role play, and we hope that in the future we can get back somehow to the personal setting, but there are also like questions how to open it up globally, and since we have this intention to open up, we will have most probably like these two types of two models for the collaboration for the future of being personal and also online. So now at least we have this experience. Okay, and like going on a little bit, so that was one example, and if you have questions to that, then I can explain more or tell more about that, but not running out of time. I would like to show another cooperation, which is within one course and at our university in terms of in the course of corporate sustainability and CSR. It's a different focus, but it's a very important focus, and it has both environmental and social implications. And what is the cooperation about here is like cooperating with the civil sector and the consulting firms. So the students are practicing to be consultants and help the civil society, help an NGO. Actually, I show you a picture about it from one of the last years. I've made it for several years now. And like students of 3, so they are small groups normally, those who are working on each project. And for the whole semester, they are helping to an NGO, either to set up a business plan or with a marketing plan or write an application. In this year actually, those who are down there on the left-hand side, they were winning a huge amount of money actually as a support for the NGO they were working for, because they were like writing a successful application in collaboration with the NGO and one of the big 5, so the big 4, big 5 companies, consultancy companies. So these are why I'm showing it actually, because these are really very promising examples, I think, for having a broader outreach and a kind of like making this sustainability issues really applicable and really like practice oriented for the students. So that's the main reason behind to practice it. And well, like showing some further examples in order, because I also promised to have some specialties also, not just collaborative examples. I would like to show some focal issues of this diversity, this huge diversity, what is going on in Europe. Of course, this will be just picking up some examples, not like covering the whole set, but we will have at least a hint of how huge this variety is. Okay, so like showing some examples. We have several complete bachelor programs, sometimes also complete master programs, and in several schools specializations within the bachelor program or within the master program. Just without like showing some examples, I have this University of Leeds has a sustainability and environmental management degree. It is more focusing on environmental issues than on societal issues. Of course, it includes that as well, but the main focus is environmental. Then the Sustainability Management School of Switzerland has different kinds of several different focal issues like tourism or sustainability management or further business issues, but really different ones, even financial responsibility, so like how to invest responsibly. London College of International Business Studies has a degree again on mostly on business oriented, and we have these BA courses focusing on climate change very much. At the Vienna University of Vienna. In the Copenhagen Business School, there is an entrepreneurship. Magali mentioned entrepreneurship as a very important focus today. So not just the huge corporations, but also the smaller enterprises, and this whole entrepreneurship practice is very much intertwined with this issue. And related to master courses, just showing two, one in green management, energy, and corporate social responsibility, like covering this issue at Bocconi. And in Rotterdam, we have the global business and sustainability master program. And actually within the TEMS course, which I have shown you at the beginning, within this Model UNFCCC, there are several students from this master, those who are actually competing for getting into the course and making the role play. So actually this is like really like we try to have a very high quality course all together, and this making it a really very good experience for the students. And last but not least, before I finish, I just want to show some further courses based on business models, why I have chosen business models. And you see here again, the University of Vienna, the Cambridge University, or the Norwegian School of Economics. Why I have chosen this as final issue, because we are witnessing this as a very big challenge actually to the corporate world, having these new business models, often disruptive business models, which are completely changing the setup and the scenery for the businesses. So like that's why we see this kind of, that we see some focal issues there, but at the same time a high variety. And what we see, what else as tendency, we clearly see that there is more and more courses and more areas within management education where these issues are getting integrated into even into the traditional management education. So not just as a specific course, but into the whole education. And actually, that was my presentation. I hope that I could keep to the time. And thank you very much for your attention. And I'm open for the questions now.